This is Carolyn Napier. This is part 3 of the Fourpole Creek assessment. I want to discuss the classification and the BHI rating for Fourpole Creek from our midterm assignment and how I came up with my conclusions. For our midterm, we had to do the classification, the BHI, and I used estimates for this project and also went to the USGS website to get some other information. I had a photo of Fourpole Creek that I used as well, which I'll show you here in a second. I also want to state that my results may not be accurate to what the real classification may be for the stream, because I did estimates based on photos and whatnot. But for this class and my restoration plan, this is what I'm going to use and work with going forward. This is a photo of Fourpole Creek by Ritter Park. You can see the walking trail in the background. I realized pretty much after the fact, that my USGS information that I got in this section of Fourpole don't match up. So this is another reason why my results may not be completely accurate. But as I said before, this is how I got my estimates and how I work through the problems, and I'm going to, unless otherwise directed, continue on with the results I got for the final restoration plan for the end of class. But anyhow, this is the photo I used that helped me determine the bank height and the surface protection and the bank angle, the root depth, and the root density for the classifications. This is just some of the calculations that I worked through by hand and how I justified it. See, you can see where I originally put that I used the modified version of the BHI, but I actually calculated something, or ended up doing that on the next slide. But based on the previous photo, I determined the root depth was approximately 2 to 4 feet deep. The density about 10%, since there was no trees in that area and it was mostly grass. There was no surface protection, and I guesstimated the bank angle to be 100 to 120 degrees. I also had my Manning's equation on there as well, and how to come up with the velocity. In this slide, the BHI sheet is something I would have used if I was actually out in the field, but this is my calculations and conclusions and how I justified how I based my numbers down there below. According to what I came up with, the BHI category is very high. You can see in the comments below I wrote that I used the photo of Fourpole Creek along the walking path, and how I compared the photos to determine the bank height score and the root depth, the surface protection, the bank angle, and the cobblestone in the bottom. And this is what I turned in for my midterm for the stream classification worksheet. I do apologize, some of it did get cut off when I tried to make it pretty on the PowerPoint. Again, I used the USGS site to come up with some of the information. On the side, I did have the gauge height and the channel width in the area that I got from the site, but it's kind of cut off here. But anyway, based on all the information that I did give, you can make out some of that. I determined it to be a stream type A. So in closing, basically what I found on my midterm for my Fourpole Creek is the B had to be very high and the stream classification to be an A. Again, the photo I used to make my determination and the USGS website and its location of where it had its information do not match up. But I'm going to pretend that this Fourpole Creek exists the way I calculated going forward in this project for the final restoration plan.